Hi, we're Team 7 and we're presenting In Good Company. Meet Julian. He's fairly new to Seattle and he hasn't voted before. He feels like his voice doesn't matter, and when it's election time, he doesn't like the candidates anyway. Based on a study of over 12,000 chronic voters in America called the 100 Million Project, Julian is an unattached apolitical voter. He doesn't actively seek out news, doesn't have a political affiliation, and just doesn't see the point of voting. But Julian does have concerns. When he walks on the Yudelman, he hates how fast the cyclists go. He also doesn't think there are enough crosswalks between streets. We developed a solution for people like Julian to share their concerns, get connected with others who share those concerns, and to learn how people like him can do something about issues that they care about. We are not solving for the already engaged voter. We're not trying to get people like Julian to vote or even register to vote at this point. We just want to help them make meaningful local connections and see how their voice matters. We know from Esther, the interim executive director at Puget Sound Sage, that the first step to get citizens engaged is to have them engage locally. This will help democracy by ensuring people like Julian have a say in their experience as a citizen. So with that, let's go through the story of Julian using the prototype of a website, In Good Company. It was important to us that we meet people like Julian, where they are already today. So while scrolling through social media, Julian sees a post about a Seattle pedestrian who almost got taken out by a biker speeding down the Yudelman. He had a similar experience and clicks to learn more about the story. That takes him to the In Good Company website, where he can learn more about the person behind the story, share his own story, or answer a question about what he'd like to change about pedestrian safety in Seattle. He likes that he can finally give his input on what's been bothering him about pedestrian safety in Seattle. He would like to see all cyclists needing to get registered. Julian can now see how others feel about it too. It's reassuring to know that he's not the only one that feels this way. Wondering if the site wants donations or something else from him, he sees that this is just a group of locals who want to connect people who care about similar issues. It's nice to know that some people just want to do something because they care. We emphasize this on the site based off of feedback from one of our usability testers, who falls into the target audience group. They said, "I don't know what you're about. There has to be a purpose for this site, not just finding out that other people feel the same way you did." He can also further provide input to ensure his voice is heard. Or he can meet other people who share a similar concern to him. He can learn about local politicians who are doing something about pedestrian safety, or read other stories similar to Amit's. And he can get involved with a group of neighbors by doing something he enjoys, like baking for a fundraiser or signing a petition. Julian sees that they need a few more people to sign a petition about pedestrian safety, so he does just that. A few weeks later, he receives a handwritten postcard in the mail, which shows how, because he gave input and signed a petition, certain actions were taken by politicians, so he can see how his voice made a difference. Our goal with the experience was to help people feel like they're not alone, that their voice matters, and that they can do something meaningful about the topics that matter to them. Our prototype is just a start. There are a lot of constraints and operational factors to consider, such as user privacy, how to engage storytellers, moderating discussions, and more. In conclusion, we hope that In Good Company will help people like Julian know that their voice matters, that they can be part of something meaningful, and that they can see themselves as someone who can make a difference. Thank you.